Hello everyone. I'm going to talk to you today about the piece of advertisement that I chose. Something that caught my attention when I first saw it, and I'm pretty sure that across the board, no matter who you talk to, that everyone will have a piece or will be able to speak their mind on this piece. The piece I chose again was a piece done by Mothers Demand Action. The ad itself of advertisement depicts two children sitting in front of a classroom, and one of the children is or the child is one child is holding an assault rifle, the other one is holding an egg. You wouldn't think much of what it's trying to say at first, other than obviously a child holding an assault rifle. That's not something you normally see. But the child holding the egg is not the egg that the child's holding is not just any egg. It's a Kinder egg, what they would call a Kinder egg. A Kinder egg basically was an egg that was banned by the FDA because of the fact that the egg itself, from the outer layer, is a thin coat of chocolate, thin layer of chocolate, and within the egg holds a toy or something of that sort. And with that, they didn't want the consumer purchasing those eggs and then biting into them, and the possibility of say for instance, a child biting into one and then having to accidentally swallow the toy or whatever it was that was in the egg. So to decrease the chances of that happening, and basically they just decided, like I said, to ban it. As far as the child holding the assault rifle, that's something, like I said, that you don't normally see, but it did catch my attention, and it also brings attention to what, as far as the fact that why is a Kinder egg banned and not the assault rifle. Of course, the assault rifles doesn't necessarily apply to, like, it. It is used by law enforcement agencies as well as the military. Of course, that's going to have serve its purpose there. As far as for family, an assault rifle maybe within the family. Of course, there's tons of people who do hunting and may have purchased this assault rifle, but it also at the same time can fall into the wrong hands. And it shows, like I said, in the picture of the child holding it. Not to say that a child would, children that age, young, are curious and might want to figure basically what it is that that the assault rifle might do. But then again, like I said, you just never know whose hands it might fall into, and that's why Mothers Demand Action, their organization, believes that assault rifles should be banned, as well as, like I said, since the Kinder egg is banned, they might as well go ahead and ban assault rifles. I do think that it grabbed the attention. If someone were to see it, no matter whether it be a child, an adult, or elderly, they would catch their attention, like I said, and they would have something to say about it. As far as the classroom setting and the children that they use to depict in this ad, like I said again, I think that it does grab the attention of the reader, and it does get the message across. Although the text that was used in the advertisement was fairly small, I do believe that just by looking at the pictures, you can kind of understand and get the message that the creators of this advertisement are trying to make. As far as the emotions, I do believe that the emotions, as far as this audience, for like adults and elderly, it probably would bring some type of anger and depending on what the situation was, because not everyone does have a different situation, and some people may find it as far as something they can relate to, others just don't understand. And like I said, in most cases, people will have something to say about this piece. As far as this piece of advertisement, I do believe, like I said, it did was able to make it clear on what they were trying to say. And in my personal opinion, I believe that assault rifles should be definitely handled with care, and I'm sure that most people in general do handle them with care. Should be used for law enforcement, definitely, as far as definitely law enforcement and military. The issue as far as family household, I don't know. It just depends on the situation, depending on where exactly. Maybe within the city, not so much. As far as out in the country, of course, you do a lot of hunting, like I said before. So it could, I could understand that. As far as, like I said, having it in the city, not so much, because of the fact that there's really nothing you can do as far as hunting within the city, of course. But anyways, I hope you have a better understanding of the ad that I spoke of today, and if you have any questions, please do feel free to ask. Thank you for your time.